you've seen me up here a bunch of times, I'm sure. I'm up here for a different reason today. First of all, how many people in here consider themselves a BFF? Should be a bunch of you. This week is covered. The next week I have one slot, but starting into the holidays, it's harder and harder. There are a bunch of slots left, so if you will look and see if you can fill in one of the spots, I appreciate it. I know Tammy and Kevin really appreciate it. Now, I'm here today for stewardship. I want to talk about why we financially support the church. At one time, churches were supported by the government, and according to some sources, that trend changed drastically after the Civil War. So congregations needed to step up to the plate, literally, passing the plate, to provide resources for the church to remain in existence. I have a cold, in case you can't tell. Many people understand the biblical principle of tithing 10%, and for many, this represents a realization of their obligation to pay the bills. Some consider this a form of dues for their membership, and they're content to be stewards in that manner for the church. But stewardship is more than just meeting a financial budget. There's a saying that we should all give until it hurts, but that's not right. We should give until it feels good. At that point, we are helping others to lead generous lives themselves. Giving to the church should be due to the gratitude for everything God has given to us. With these funds, not only do we pay the bills, we also need to use the funds to provide hope and compassion to our community and our fellow church members. A steward of the church is not just someone that provides funds to keep the lights on. A stewardship campaign is a way of teaching other people the joy of living as generous disciples and helping others. Stewardship is not about anything more than relationships with our church, our community, and with Jesus Christ. This congregation has a caring heart. With all the trials and tribulations that my family has gone through over the years, I know the love of the generous souls of this church. Many others feel that in the same fashion. I always try to pay it forward in some fashion, as many of you all do. Sometimes monetarily and sometimes by action. More than 50 of us represented Northview in the community walk for ALS for Tammy. The social club volunteers and the volunteers for the Baker family graciously give of their time and sometimes receive more blessing than they ever thought was possible by doing so. Days for Girls, the Samaritan Inn, and Elijah's Backpack are just a few of the other ways that this church puts forth their faith into action. Northview is important not just to all of us, but to our community as well. I hope you'll prayerfully consider how you can give until it feels good. If you've not already returned your pledge, please consider giving until it feels good. If your pledge has already been submitted, you may always modify the amount if you feel the Spirit leading you in another way. May God continue to bless all of you, your families, your community, and this church abundantly. Amen.